What is going on, guys? Jason Burke here, Styles Clash for Life, coming at you on YouTube, and today I've got some football focus. I'm tired, I am nasally, I'm having a long couple of days, I've got a show this weekend, I'm heading out to be in a play, but I could not miss out on the opportunity to bring you guys the Pittsburgh Steelers first-round draft pick. After weeks and weeks and months for some of you of conjecture and mock drafts and hype and talk and trade up and trade back and all of these things, the Pittsburgh Steelers last night, as I record this, finally picked their first-round overall draft pick at number 20, and they stayed put at number 20. I got home from my show last night just around pick 10. I was recording it on DVR, but I got home at pick 10 to watch the Steelers pick live, and I saw that 6 quarterbacks went in the top 12. And then we had a barrage of offensive tackles and wide receivers. With so many quarterbacks going so early and so many second-round guys going in the first round, the board fell very, very nicely to any teams who wanted defense. There was not a defensive player in the first round picked until pick 15, the longest span for no defensive players picked ever in history. Also, 6 quarterbacks in the top 12 has got to be a record. We had a lot of weird draft things last night, so the board fell to us very nicely around pick 20, and there were a lot of guys to consider. Some guys we couldn't consider were J.C. Latham, who was talked about, who went at pick 7. Talisi Fuaga went early, and the Bengals, a few picks before us, I think at pick 18, took Abarius Mims from Georgia. With those prospects off the board, we had several guys we could have looked at. We had Quinyon Mitchell, we had Cooper DeJean, we had Nate Wiggins, we had a bunch of receivers. I think the LSU receiver, Brian Thomas, was there. Bunch of guys to look at. But one that surprised me is the guy that we picked, offensive tackle out of Washington, Troy Fautanu. Now, I want to give you guys a Troy Fautanu breakdown real quick and let you guys know what his stats are and kind of why I love this pick. Now, if you looked at my breakdowns for possible draft guys, I talked a lot about tackle. I discussed Mims, I discussed Fuaga, I discussed Latham, because I thought those guys could potentially be there or fall to 20. I never discussed Troy Fautanu because I never thought he had a chance to fall to 20. When he fell to 20, this was an automatic for us. He is my number 2 offensive tackle on the board in this draft. I had Troy Fautanu as my number 12 overall on my big board, the 12th best player in this draft. A lot of draft experts had him at number 10. Not that I'm an expert, but a lot of guys had him at number 10. I had him at 12 overall. I didn't think he was going to last beyond like pick 12 to me. So for him to fall to 20 and us to get, in my opinion, the second best tackle in this draft at 20, when he could have easily gone between 10 and 12, I think is excellent for us. Let me give you a couple quick stats. First of all, when we drafted Fautanu, it said guard on the screen. I think the draft guys made him a guard because he played a little bit at left guard in college, and he has kind of shorter arms and a shorter frame, so I think they thought he might be a little better set for guard. He's not going to be a guard. He started all 15 games last year at left tackle. He is a tackle. He is better suited as a tackle, playing a little wider. Mike Tomlin already said he's going to move to right tackle. So he's definitely gonna play it right while Broderick Jones goes back to his natural spot at left. I think I have that right, or did I reverse it? I think Broderick moves back to his natural spot at left. Troy plays it right. And yes, he played at left in college, but he also played for a left-handed quarterback. So he was playing kind of a technique that plays like a right tackle. Penix is left-handed, so it kind of serves as a right tackle anyway. That being said, this guy is an absolute beast. He was an All-American last year, also first-team All-Pac-10. Played over 3 seasons, only played in 7 games in 2021, but played his last 2 full seasons. So in 3 years, he played in 35 games and over 2,150 offensive snaps and over 1,300 pass play snaps. In that time in 3 seasons, he's only allowed 3 sacks, 5 quarterback hits, and 35 hurries. That is a really, really good win rate. He has like an 85 percentile pass block grade. I think he's even better as a run blocker. But this guy has just intangibles off the charts. Again, aside from Joe Alt, he's my number 2 tackle. So those of you guys that wanted Mims or Fuaga, those guys are good. But I think this guy, Fautanu, has a much better upside overall. He is an incredible athlete. Much like Broderick Jones, Jones has more size and power, but is a freakish athlete for a guy his size. Fautanu is a freakish athlete. This dude is super, super athletic. He gets out in space. He is, in my opinion, the quickest sideline-to-sideline guy. I think he ran a 5.40 for an offensive tackle, which is incredible. Really, really good testing, tested very well. His speed in the open field is great. The guy gets to the second level fast. He's incredibly athletic. He's quick. I think his hand punch is super quick. His moves with his hands up top are very, very quick. His feet are fast and agile, and he's very good on his feet. He's very good at getting back when he gets beaten on a play. His recovery speed is really, really good, and I like his technique. There's been a couple of things about him people have taken jabs at. I think his technique is great. The combination of his speed, his agility, his hand placement, his footwork, his overall technique, I like every single bit of that. If you watch the guy in space, again, he gets the first block down and gets to the second level, unlike a lot of tackles do in this draft. He's also a guy that's looking to double team block and chip guys on like runs downfield. When guys are running and someone is behind the play, he's looking to run and hit somebody. I've seen him take his blocker down and then look around for someone to dive into and just throws his shoulder into somebody. Hopefully that's not going to be penalized in the NFL too much. But this dude is looking for contact. He is a Steeler through and through. Polynesian named Troy. It worked out for us last time. He grew up a Steeler fan. He's a hard-nosed physical guy that likes contact and does not shy away. He has a low base on his feet, so he doesn't get knocked off balance too much. There's not a whole lot of knocks on this guy. Again, the good base, the good feet, the good hands. And also as a puller. I know pulling happens a lot for guards. As a pulling tackle, this guy is really, really good. I've watched him pull and do some kind of unique zone run schemes, blocking for zone runs, and he's really, really good. This fit for us, not only is he a natural Steeler because of his contact and his size and speed together, but also I think he fits the new offensive coordinator system. Arthur Smith is a guy like playing in Tennessee. He wants to pound the ball with Derrick Henry, manage the clock, do the old Steeler football, the old Jerome Bettis pound the ball, throw a little bit here and there, but mainly be a in-the-trenches physical running team. And that is exactly what this guy brings you. That is what Broderick Jones brings you. That is what Troy Fautanu brings you. And it's going to make Najee Harris and Jaylen Warren a whole lot better. He can also get out and pull on screens. So if they're throwing screens to Calvin Austin or end-around plays to Calvin Austin, he can get off the line quickly and pull and grab a guy and get to the next level. Very, very good. Great in space, great feet, great athlete, great technique. I said all those things. Good hands, looking to hit. The couple knocks on him, yes, he's a little short for a tackle. I think he's 6'2" as opposed to 6'5", so he's a little short. I don't take that much into consideration. His length has also been something that people have talked about. He's not long enough. I think his arm length is underrated. While I don't think it's super ideal for a tackle, he has more arm length than we give him credit for. His measurables are a lot better than he was initially thought to be, in my opinion. This guy could have gone top 10. One thing else is that he is over-aggressive at times. His hand punch sometimes is too fast, and he's looking to hit too much. If over-aggressive can be a negative, he can sometimes get over-aggressive with his hands, and he'll get a little, he'll be looking a little jittery and looking to hit guys, and because of that, he can get beat by kind of speed rushers around the edge. So dealing with really fast speed rushers with really fast moves can be something that hinders him a little bit. But again, he recovers fast. He has good technique. His feet are really good, and that's something he can learn. He can settle down and kind of settle in with those hands really well in the NFL with good coaching. He also just has good mirroring technique. He stays glued to his guy. Once he jabs with those hands, he can stay mirrored pretty closely, so he doesn't get beat a whole lot. Again, just 3 sacks in 3 seasons, in 2,100 sacks and 1,300 pass snaps, only 35 hurries in his whole career. The guy is going to be an ideal tackle. I think he should be a day one starter, in my opinion. He's really, really good. They're probably going to go ahead and start with Dan Moore because they always put the veterans first, especially in preseason. And they don't like to put rookies out there immediately. They traded up last year to 14 to get Broderick Jones, and they put him on the bench behind Chooks for a couple games. We saw what happened once Broderick got in there and how much better the running game got for Pittsburgh. So I think maybe by week 3, if not sooner, if not in the preseason, I think he beats out Dan Moore and becomes the other starting tackle. Now all of a sudden, you've got 2 proven veterans in the last 2 years in Daniels and Sayamalu, and now you've got 2 freakish athletic rookies who are strong and looking to hit. You've got one who's a big, massive power guy that moves guys, and now you've got Fautanu, who is a really fast, aggressive, speedy athlete on the other side. You're building a really good offensive line, and something tells me that center is coming up next. I think Zach Frazier or JPJ at 51, if not a trade-up, makes a lot of sense to me. Still need a corner, still need a receiver, but for this pick right now, upon my first review and the way the board fell and the value we got for this guy who is a franchise starter is an A+. I couldn't grade this pick any higher. Again, I didn't even discuss this guy in my lead up to the draft because I didn't think he'd even be there. So we got ourselves the second best tackle at 20 in a position we needed as one of the most valuable things on our team. So can't hate this by any means. Again, I think center is coming. I'll be coming back to you guys tomorrow. I've got a show tonight, so I'm going to see the draft at like 2 in the morning tonight. I will do some research on the picks, and I will come back tomorrow with my day 2, rounds 2 and 3, where Steelers have 3 picks currently, and I'll bring you guys that review. So please stay tuned for my day 2 and day 3 draft reviews, as well as film reviews coming up, and all kind of other stuff. So stay tuned to the channel. Tell me in the comments below what you thought of this pick. Who would you rather have had? Did you like this? Did you not like this? And why? What do you think of Fautanu? And I will talk to you guys soon. Please subscribe and take care.